Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your January 2019 tarot reading. I'm Jade with yesYesYes, and thanks for coming to my channel. I'm going to start with your overall from the whole year, and then we'll do a reading for the month. So if you are resonating with this, please like, share, or subscribe, and I'd love to hear a comment. And if you're interested in any of the decks or any private readings with me, all of that information is in the box below. So let's get started. Your overall from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck is the Mystical Shaman card for you. So this card is telling you for the whole year that you are to remain unattached, that you are the master that allows the world to unfold before you. And I kind of feel like you're very good at that, Sagittarius. You have, what's going on for you this year? This year you have Jupiter in your sign in Western astrology, so that means that there's lots of energy being given to you, extra boosts of energy. And you're also really amazing in the nature that you're benefic in that you can sit back and allow for others to kind of show them their worth, and that you meet them in that way. So that is you being in the Mystical Shaman energy. Now for your month of January, we have the Seven of Wands. And, oh, there we go. And we have the Tower in the Lenormand deck. This is the Line Strider deck. So the Seven of Wands is telling me that you are making your boundaries clear. There might have been some struggle, but you are now to a place where you have some firm footing after your struggle, and you are making your boundaries known. You're saying, hey, this is my line, and don't cross it, okay? Now the Tower is different in the Lenormand deck. It's about structures and organizations like universities or hospitals or even corporations. So there's something to be said. It feels very much like a work card for me, where but it could also be that you've isolated yourself in a tower and that you're making that your boundary. So you're either making your boundary about work or large corporations, or within that corporation you're making your boundaries, or you're kind of pulling yourself away to look at everything. So you're putting yourself in an ivory tower. But we'll see. Now we're going to use the Klimt Tarot, which I love. It's beautiful. I pre-shuffled, and I'll shuffle some more here, and we'll see what energies are our foundations, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay. So for Sagittarius, for January 2019, we've got two here, the Five of Wands and the Five of Pentacles, two fives. Okay, so there has been this struggle. There's been something that had kept you in the dark, is what I'm feeling. I don't feel like you were shut out necessarily with what the Five of Pentacles can do, but I do feel like you were kept out of a situation, as if it was going on in secret, if that makes any sense, and that there was some fighting, and because of the fighting, that's what has kept you out. Like that person or whoever it was that you were fighting with was making the choice to keep you away from any of that situation anymore, because it would just create more fighting. Two fives, it's okay. So we're coming from a challenge, which makes sense. Now you're to a place where you want to make your boundaries known, okay? Let me give me one more card here. Okay, so the Seven of Cups. So we've got some choices. Interesting. Okay, so there's some things that have happened in the past that were not serving you, and that you put yourself beyond what you normally would have. Okay, you went beyond your comfort zone, and that's probably where the struggle came from, was because you were already kind of putting yourself out there, and then it became more of a struggle because you weren't grounded. So what I'm feeling is that there was some arguments. I don't know if this is work related or not at this point. We'll kind of see because we have, you know, lots of different suits here, but you know, there were some struggles. Let's just say it's work, okay? There were some struggles that got you to a point where, you know, you were shut out of any of that, anything more, any other conversations that would happen in that office environment. So, you know, if it was that you were a manager and you were struggling with someone else, the potential is that you were working with someone that wasn't necessarily a good balance for you, and you decided to kind of take on the extra energy, the extra push, and it wasn't serving you. And so it actually, because the work wasn't being done properly, it kind of tainted your reputation a little bit. So that's when the next step was, is that you were put out of a situation. So maybe, you know, you weren't given a raise necessarily or a promotion, but it could be that you were also just not spoken with about what the next step would normally be, because, you know, you were treated then not like the manager that you are, but like the subordinate that you were working, you were protecting, if that makes any sense. So there's lots of, you know, there were lots of options, other ways of handling the situation, but that's just, you know, I think it was that because there were so many other ways of handling it, the choice that you made might not have been the best choice to serve you. And so now you're having to kind of pull yourself back. Perhaps we pulled ourselves back into this ivory tower for this reason, and just say, look, you know, this is my boundary. I'm just not going to risk my reputation anymore for anyone else, or I'm not going to be seen as anything less than I am ever again, hopefully ever again. So that's our foundation. Let's see where we're at in the present for Sagittarius for January 2019. We have the Knave of Pentacles. Okay, so the knaves are the pages. It is the foundations are kind of working their way towards you. I've got two other cards trying to come out. Oh, three. The 10 of Pentacles. Okay, and so having it all, we have the Magician, which is also amazing. It's the true alchemist, the one who creates it all, makes the things happen. And then the Knight of Swords. So this is the clear communication coming towards you, or that you're putting out there. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with our present here. The Page of Pentacles is there's some, well, it's Pentacles, so there's some excitement about a new start, a new leveling of things. Okay, so we've come from this energy of it not really being balanced, of you having to pull yourself back and state, look, you know, this is my boundary. I'm not going to sacrifice myself for anyone else. So this is new energy for you to stay, you know, now that you're in this new place of feeling stable, but it's because it's a page, it's rough, it's fresh. It's kind of like new skin, if that makes any sense. So you know that eventually you'll get to the 10 of Pentacles, but for right now, it just feels a little uneasy, okay? It's just a new place of being. And it's also an earth sign, which is different than you're used to doing, right? This is you taking on the energy of just allowing things to show up for you and to know that you are taken care of. So totally new energy for you, okay? The Magician is more close to your energy, where you are doing, you're creating, okay? So you're taking on this, this role of creating what you want while sitting back and allowing, okay? It's interesting dichotomy, I know, but you have your vision, you know it's going to come into fruition. So this is, you know, let's say all of the riches and the abundance in the world, okay? Or whatever you're dreaming of. And you know that you want to create that, so you're making small, incremental, but very specific steps towards it, okay? And with that, it's kind of like it makes the magic happen. So you make one step, and then 5 more reverberations happen because of that one step. So we're going to clarify a little bit more of that magic. I'm curious about it, but it does have to do with words and speaking clearly, and that clear communication, coming in and making this whole present situation moving forward for you in the best way, because of course we have a knight, there's movement here. Okay, we're going to clarify that. I want to see what's happening in our future as well for Sagittarius. Okay, all right, we'll just throw those out. 2 of Swords and the Justice card. Okay, so we've got some decision, but again, I think it's a decisive action, even though it's swords, but it's decisiveness in that you are making this, you're making your words clear, and you're making your needs known, your boundaries known to others with the 7 of Wands, and it's going to be fair for everyone. Okay, so let's reel this back in. Something in the past was a struggle. You took it upon yourself to try to make the situation work out. However, it was detrimental just a little bit. Doesn't feel like it took you down, but it was detrimental to your reputation, okay? And so therefore people saw you in a different light and they shut you out, okay? So, and again, I'm not understanding if it's a love situation. It feels very work related right now because we've got a lot of pentacles and a lot of swords out. Maybe the clarifiers will show us, but we've got some struggle here in the past and some different, like, you know, different ways in which that could have been done, and you chose one way that just didn't serve you as best as it could have. Okay, now in the present, you are in this place now where you know that you want to be secure and abundant, and that is your right as the Sagittarian, and you also you're fine with allowing that to come to fruition, but you do want to help the situation a little bit out with your magician here. So you want to make a few little magic spells along the way, and those magic spells have to do with these clear words, this clear communication coming in. So maybe it's that you drop a hint here and there about, you know, hey, I really want to have that that job promotion. You know, I would do a really great job in this field, or, you know, whatever it is that you need to drop the hint, basically. And again, it's feeling more work related here. Then in the future, what it's going to do is it's going to allow for more of a fair situation. I think it's, you know, it may not be with that past, it may be something completely new. There's a lot of stuff going on here and I'm trying to reel it in. Let's see, are we dealing with something that is work or play? From the past, show me what got us to this place. Okay, so we have the 6 of Swords. Okay, so the 6 of Swords is telling me that you have moved away from whatever that situation was, which is great. It could have been from a while ago, actually. So this could be something where you've been working on getting your reputation back in line for quite some time. I'm feeling like it's a few months at the very least. This feels like the other card to come out. This is the Knight of Chalices, Knight of Water, or Cups. Okay, so and now we finally have a cup card, so who knows? We could be talking about a love situation, but we've moved on from that situation, and it's been moved on even though that there was an emotional tie to it, okay? And you know, it never feels good to be cut out of situations, right? It never feels good to not be allowed, or not to be let in, right? You know, like, you can't play in my sandbox, I don't like you anymore. Like, that doesn't feel good. So it would make sense that you would want to move away from that, and you'd want to move away from the energy that would be, that emotional need that you'd have to feel good about yourself, to feel like you were doing the right thing. And whatever it was that you were doing to help someone out, you know, sometimes we make those choices and it's just not the best for us. You know, it's noble, It's beautiful, and luckily it's in the past. Right now, this situation is that you are allowing for energy to come in. Ooh, Ace of Chalices. So now we're moving on to the water. So we're allowing a new relationship possibly to come in. It may be that you are allowing it to, King of Swords, perhaps it's with an air sign, or someone who uses their words wisely, and maybe not so compassionately, but still decisively. So it's a new relationship that's building up. Some kind of new emotional fulfillment is happening for you in the present, in January of 2019, and it's slowly building. You can see that it's going to be something. You can see the end all of it. You know, the 10 of Pentacles are going to bring that forward. It's going to be that fullness, that richness, and that abundance that you want emotionally. And you're making little tiny hints as to how to get it. So maybe you're just dropping hints with your current partner about how, maybe you want to get married. Maybe, it's time to move in together. So you're just dropping these little hints there, here and there. And it's all about words. So we're just making those little magical ways of turning the world around in our favor by spreading the word, right? And it could be with a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, but it's definitely just a masculine energy that is decisive in his words. Now in the future, we've got we've got fairness, and we have a choice. So I don't know what this choice is about. It could be, it's a choice between two partners. Let's see. 10 of Chalices now. So we're coming into the fruition of that emotional journey. And then we also have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so another 2. I feel like I'm going to back this whole thing up. Okay. In the past, you were fighting with someone, and it was an argument where you had multiple ways of feeling about it, right? And that person, you were trying to make something happen, but that person didn't want it to happen in that way. Okay, so you were making a choice that you thought was noble, that you were trying to protect them, and because it took power away from that person, they shut you out. Okay, didn't feel good. So you wanted to move on from that situation, and you moved on from it also emotionally. In the present, you are in a place of starting over. So it could be with this person from the past. This whole thing could have happened months and months ago. So it could be that you moved on and you haven't been talking, and then perhaps something comes back up, or this could be a completely new relationship. But this relationship is, it has all the potential of being emotionally satisfying, and it has all of the potential of being very clear with its communication. We just need to make sure that we keep the balance between the heart and the words, and you have some power in it that could be construed as manipulative, but I think it's more like magic, and if you keep your heart pure, then it's not a negative, if that makes any sense. Okay, so your power here, you don't want it to blow up like it did before. Okay, so just be careful that you're balancing yourself. You're not making a choice for someone else, but you are stating what your needs are. Okay, and then in the future, we have balance. We have choices, we have clear words, we have all of the things emotionally satisfying that you could ever want, the family, we have the Pentacles juggling, I call the dancer card, and it's okay to juggle, it's okay to try to figure out things. So there's definitely going to be a choice in the future that you're going to have, where you want to make sure that the scales are balanced. Okay, so I really think it has to do with this relationship that's revealing itself here. How interesting, because we're not talking about relationship really at all in your overview, but everything else came out as relationship. So if we are talking about your overview, you're stating your boundaries while pulling away emotionally. So just know that that might be where your power position is that you might have to, get some perspective, pull yourself away, look at the whole situation before you come in and say, look, this is what I need. This is the magic that I can create. If you want to do it with me, amazing. Let's talk about it. Let's create it, because this is all that we could be. Okay. Capricorn, Sagittarius, this is amazing for you. I want to pull one more card out from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, just as an overview for the month, because it's beautiful. Oh, here we go. The Ancient Ones. Okay, I'm going to read it. Hold it up for you. Oh, it's the first card. I love that. Okay, so we're starting over. There's definitely something new coming for you. Just relax and let it reveal itself. You don't have to be so harsh with stating your boundaries. Just be clear. Don't completely remove yourself emotionally, and just know that everything beautiful is coming to you, okay? So the Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for the earth. Go ahead, find out who you are becoming. If you accept this invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available to you right now. Okay? So that tells me you have all of this power behind you. You just have to be clear with what you want. You can bring forward your destiny. You can bring forward this relationship. If you want this to not be a relationship, if you want this to be a new job, you can bring that forward as well. But the truth of the matter is you have to act only for yourself. You can't make choices for others. You have to act only for yourself. You have to be clear in what your needs and what your desires are and state those with compassion and love. That will create the magic in the world. And you have 2 tens. So all of the riches will come to you. All of the emotional fulfillment is coming to you. I think that this month could be fantastic for you, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for coming by. Sagittarius, I wish you all the best, all of my love. Thanks so much.